happens when you... Okay, Dino.
Oh,
Are you ready?
Bam. Okay. Sorry. Sorry,
Okay.
everybody.
It's all good.
Okay, let's take two.
Take two. What happens when... Well, let me start again. So thank you, Dino, for that. But I'm going to just put a bit of a dampener on it. Well, in a way. So this morning, a friend of mine passed that I'd known for a very long time. She was in South Africa, and she was a huge personality, and she just was herself. She didn't care. She had a pot in her mouth. Every second word is F, 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 F. But she could pull it off, because some people can and some people can't.
Yeah.
Wherever she is, she's driving people crazy and laughing a lot. But I don't want to talk about loss and death right now, because I'm talking about celebration of life. But most of all, we're talking about how you have to love the moment, and how sometimes, especially when something like this happens, you look at your life and you think, whoa, why don't I speak up? Why don't I say what's on my heart? Why don't I have the courage to say, you know what, I love you, or whatever it is? Why don't you have that courage? And even though you have confidence and you're in this moment all the time, that is so difficult to do. Well, for me. So on that note, we've got so many things to discuss, but on that note, let me ask Dino what he thinks, and then we'll take it from there for wherever it goes, right? This is Carina, Break Fear, Find Freedom, and of course, awesome Dino. Hello, Dino.
Hey, I like my name. I have to trademark it. Awesome Dino.
Awesome Dino, right?
Thank you for the great intro. But first of all, my condolences. Very sorry about your friend. But I admire how you're looking at it, which is the same thing. And we talked about it on a segment. The way I looked at my mom's passing, same way. Instead of mourning death, you celebrate life.
Yes.
So what you're saying about today is, why didn't I speak up? Which is pretty cool, because like we've talked about on a lot of shows, life is an infinite crossroad every second of every day, and the possibilities and how you choose, moves you towards a specific direction. Right. Speaking out or speaking up, either one, actually affects those things, those crossroads that we're talking about. As an example, I was in Chicago this weekend. By the way, it was just great. It was great. But, as great as it was, you meet these people, and they open up to you, which is great. I love that. Yes, but as they're opening up, it goes back into shoulda, coulda, woulda, if this, then that.
Right.
And I get it. They're just venting, and everything. And, they're probably not in a certain state of mind. I mean, not everybody is in your state of mind at any given time. But, in my head, I'm just thinking, wow, when are you going to just cut those ties, and when are you just going to let loose? And by the way, that was a cool post that you shared a couple of days ago, with a woman that's trying to stay above water, but she's got something chained to her ankle. It was like that big lead weight. And that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like, if I spoke up, then this could have happened. And you have no proof that would have happened. No. I guess so. It comes down to, if I spoke up, and why aren't you speaking up? Is it related to fear? Is it related that your opinion won't matter? Is it that you don't feel that comfortable in yourself, that you cannot just be in a conversation, but actually lead a conversation? And when I mean lead a conversation, I don't mean like that stifling person that doesn't let you get a word in, like me sometimes. But
come on. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, sorry, you froze for a bit, so you'll have to go
We're
back.
experiencing technical difficulties.
We are.
Yeah, okay, so I've never had a problem speaking up. I'm extremely curious. Some of the things that I have said and continue to say are considered offensive. I don't mean them that way. But instead of being so cautious about how I am, I'm just like, some people aren't really going to gravitate towards that and others will. And over time, the ones that don't, when they get to know you, they know that it's harmless. It's just an extremely curious view of life. Give you an example. I'm full of examples. Okay, so in Chicago, obviously I spoke at this big, huge gala. It was awesome, by the way, but I'm not talking about that right now.
I'm sure it was. Congratulations, and that must have been very awesome.
Oh man, it was great. It was great. But the day after was even better. And so the day after, I was given a personal tour of the entire campus. Okay, this academy. It's kindergarten through 8th grade. Half of the day they learn every subject in Greek. Half of the day they learn every subject in English. And for those who don't know, the Hellenic American Academy is a bad way to explain it, but it is a descendant of the school that I went to, that my teacher, my father, helped to found.
Oh,
and
that's so cool.
Legacy has continued. So instead of just having one school, one church, so to speak, it's uniting all these factions together under one umbrella, which is called Hellenic American Academy. Okay?
Beautiful, yeah.
So that's how I went to school, half Greek, half English, all day. And so it was great because, at some point they wanted to do a photo op, and they chose kindergarten, and they chose 3rd grade, and then they chose the cool kids, the 7th graders. They've matured.
Right.
Now, keep in mind, I'm about 7 in my head, and I act a lot like I'm 7, so I fit right in. Let's just put it that way. So in the shot, obviously they don't know who I am, but they see a bunch of people around me, moving. So to a little kid, this is like, who is this guy? And, Mister, you're scaring me, like that. But, you sit and you just talk to them. Does everybody know how to laugh? We're going to take a picture. How do you laugh? Like this? No. You laugh like this? No. The next thing you know, it was this beautiful picture. About 30 seconds after you disarm them and they know that you're safe, several kids just walk up to you and they look at the handkerchief that I had, in my jacket, and they all wanted to grab it and pull it. Or somebody said, "Is that real hair? Is that your real hair? Why do you have a tattoo? Is that your tattoo?" Curious, random, just almost like Tourette's. Just anything comes out of their mouth.
Oh, that's the beauty of children. So cool.
That's the beauty of children. Yeah. So what I'm getting at is, at some point in our lives, we've stopped doing that.
Yes.
For whatever reason.
Fear.
And yeah. And so when you're saying, I wish I spoke up, I wish that, these kids don't wish those kinds of things, because anything that's in their brain comes right out.
Right.
They don't think about, what are other people going to think of me? Or was that a stupid question or anything like that? They're just like, they don't care. Yes. Mister, I have a belly button. Oh, that's nice. Oh, good. Congratulations. Just random stuff that comes out of their head. Why do we lose that as we get older? I guess is the better question to the subject that you're bringing.
Yes. Well, I think it's fear of loss. Because I mean, if you say something, right, and the other person doesn't accept what you're saying, you might lose the friend. Well, that's all in your head most of the time, as it always is, right?
Actually, polarized today, the way we are today, you're right. You
So
probably
yes,
will lose a friend.
yeah. But on the other hand, if they're friends, then they'll understand, and you'll probably, the friendship will go to a bit bigger level, which is better, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, if you lose a friend, oh well, they weren't really a friend, but your mind tells you all sorts of things and creates all these crazy stories in your head. So you stop, and then what happens is, well, I'm talking about myself. Okay. So what happens is you don't say what you mean to say, and then the friendship actually becomes distant because you withdraw, because you don't want to open your heart and say,
Shallow.
you know
It
what?
becomes shallow.
Yes, because you're saying, hey, you know what? I've got this in my heart, but I don't want to tell you because I don't know how you're going to react, and what happens if I lose it, and then. So you'd rather just keep quiet, which is wrong, because then it changes the dynamics within the friendship, right? And you're putting up walls, which you don't want.
Right.
So it's interesting. It's an interesting thing. And like I said, you need to just say, okay, this is the moment. Let me just say what I need to say, and accept the consequences, because at the end of the day,
it's interesting how you're looking at it. Okay, I'm not a therapist. I've stayed at a Holiday Inn Express, so I feel like a therapist. I'm kidding. But okay, so we went from just pure raw curiosity and just saying whatever's on your mind to basically now what you were talking to me about, at least the way I took it, is stating your position and being prepared for the consequences of either having somebody agreeable to that position or opposed to it. So much so at times that it may affect the relationship. And it's interesting how you bring that up. Why, when we get to be adults, do we have to state our position in almost a petition-like fashion, where I'm building a coalition to prove my case to you like a trial attorney, instead of just having a conversation? You know what I mean?
Right.
Somebody with red hair. Hey, is that really red? I mean, is that the dye? How long does it last? I see somebody with a tattoo. I say it all the time. Did that hurt? They open up. Oh yeah, this one didn't hurt, but this one hurt. It just, right? I'm not trying to state my position anymore. I'm very comfortable in my positions and my views. Not everybody needs to hear them. If they ask, I may or may not tell them. But more so than that is just this open dialogue that could be about anything. The reason people open up to me a lot, and a lot of people can't figure that out, I'll be standing next to somebody who knows this very person that I'm being introduced to for 30 years. I meet them. Within 5 minutes, they tell me more than the person who introduced me, who knows them 30 years. Now, it's not me. Ooh, look at me. This is anybody who's like this. Experience these wonderful moments because you're not afraid to say something. Now, I'm not going to say, hey, you know what? You look, but you know what I'm saying. It's just if you're curious about something, you ask it. I don't care about building a coalition. I don't care about winning their favor. I don't care about, I'm going to make a friend and I'm going to influence people. You know, it's all so canned. It's all so planned. It's one of the reasons why I hated sales books and I never read them. Full disclosure. I mean, I know titles of them. I know they help people think and grow rich and, all these motivational speakers. And that's great. Wonderful for them. But I just believe that what you have, which is genuine, should not be rehearsed. It shouldn't be rehearsed. You should be able to be like this. You should be able to have that magnetism and that aura and that spark and that fire everywhere you go all the time. For some reason, as we got older, we just fall into this trap of you're one of us or you're one of them, really big with the labels. It could be for political. It could be for anything. It could be entrepreneurs frowning on 9-to-5 people. 9-to-5 people frowning at entrepreneurs for being risky.
Yes.
What difference does it make? We all make the world go round.
Exactly.
And when you just get past all that, then you'll just find out that you can have beautiful conversations with people who aren't like you and don't want to be like you. And I'm not trying to make them be like me.
And you don't want them to be like you. Yes.
No.
Well, I suppose it depends. It depends what kind of relationship you're talking about. Because like for me, that's the same. You know, you walk down the street and you speak to people all the time. People also come up to me and say, oh, you know what, I'm feeling depressed. So you just automatically relate to them, right? And help them.
Why do they tell you
them.
that?
Because
perfect stranger telling you, hey,
I'm feeling
depressed.
I know.
Isn't
it's just
cool?
the way it is. It's very cool.
But that's
always
cool.
It's always been like that. But I think I'm talking about a different level here. Not just strangers. I'm talking about the way you feel about someone else on a deeper level, I think. Maybe that's what I'm talking about.
Go on. Please continue.
Okay.
I should be writing down notes. What?
Why?
Now I'm going to be like a therapist. Please continue.
Okay,
please continue. How long have you felt like this, Carina?
I don't have a sofa to lie on, though.
No, we do this one standing. Come on. So the sofa will make you go to sleep. If I laid on the sofa right now, I'd pass out. I'm like so tired. I should be sleeping, but I'm not.
Okay.
It's too exciting. Anyway.
Exactly. Okay.
So you were opening up.
So if you get let me do an explanation. Let me give you an example today. So I've got suddenly people coming out of the woodwork like you. You know, all of a sudden people are coming out of the woodwork. It's like, what? Anyway, so I had someone that was texting me all the time, like, oh, you like this and you like that. And it was making me uncomfortable because I didn't want to go down that road.
Stop right there for 1 second. Is this person somebody you know or a perfect stranger?
No, someone I know.
Okay.
Okay,
right.
So someone I know. Well, I've met occasionally or whatever, and they just started texting me. So I just text back because I'm a friendly person. And then they took it to a different level. And I didn't want to go down that road for my own reasons, whatever, you know. So but I'm such a nice person. Sometimes you don't want to hurt people's feelings, right? So you don't want to hurt people's feelings. So you just continue, and then you make it worse because you're
leading them on.
You're not leading them on. You're just like answering the texts, right? But obviously, then they take it to a different level. So eventually I said, you know what, this is enough. Like, I don't want this anymore. Go away. I didn't say that. I wasn't so horrible. I said, you know, I don't want to do this, you know, like, let's just be friends. So of course, then he got offended.
Ooh, Carina's got a boyfriend.
No, I don't.
No.
No, I don't. So what I'm saying is that it took a long time to get to that point because I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But by not talking and not speaking up, I actually made it worse. Okay, right?
You're encouraging it because some people, unless they hear the word no, well, some people, even if they hear the word no, just like in the movie Dumb and Dumber. So there's a chance. You know what I mean? It's just, okay. I can totally relate to what you're saying because it's not even friends. It's complete strangers. Now, I chose to be a public figure. I chose to have my life on social, okay, for everybody to see because, I believe that it will inspire somebody somewhere. And if we do if we touch one person's life, it's worth it. Now, that comes with a whole set of consequences if you look at it that way,
right,
okay?
Right.
Because I get those people too that will seemingly, and it's harmless, you know, make some comments or inappropriate statements or things like that. And it starts with a heart and a kissy emoji. Again, we go with the emojis. Remember, if there were more emojis, maybe this wouldn't happen. But anyway. So, you know, a lot of people and most people are, you know, okay, they understand. I'm on a mission. I'm not on these platforms to find a date, okay? I mean, let's make that clear. This is not a dating site. This is freaking Facebook, okay? But at the same time, there are some people that come out with these just off the wall things. And I thought about it because again, there's nobody newer platforms than me, right? And just like you, I don't necessarily want to be in the habit of unfriending people or whatever people do now, or taking the problem or the issue or the disturbance to bed with me. Like nobody's going to live in my head rent free. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's a job.
right,
It's
right,
the show.
right.
The cameras are rolling. The show has to go on.
Yes.
And this is not an
yes,
act. I'm on a mission. I can't explain it any better than that.
Yes.
So what I found that has been effective is that I will respond. Thank you for the compliment. I'm not on WhatsApp. I don't buy things online. I don't invest. I'm not interested in Bitcoin, but I really hope you stay on my Facebook and enjoy my posts. And then what I'll do is I'll block the messages and the ability to call, but I won't unfriend them. And 90% of the people that I've done this to, which is a small percentage, but 90% of those people stay on as friends and interact with a heart and respectfully enjoy the posts that I have. I mean, I'm not going to say I put a lot of work into those posts, but they are raw emotion that I'm feeling right seconds before I post it. I don't pre-plan posts. I just think about them and then I post them.
Yeah.
And it's meant to help people. It's meant to help people, and it's through the heart. If I was worried about offending people and having these conversations that lead to now they don't like you and whatever, I mean, you know what? There's so many that I wouldn't have time to do anything else. So I just figure efficiently, the best thing to do is just face it head on, address it, not in an offensive way or a mean way or anything like that, but just reminding people, here's why I'm on this thing. And I really, really hope you're one of them that enjoys the message. But as far as everything else, I'm just not interested. And everybody's taken it well, except for one person, but that's okay. I've unfriended one person in this entire time that I've been on this platform.
It's pretty cool. Only one person. It is.
I mean, because it's not my job to filter through people so I feel good that they're good people or bad people.
No, it's
Remember,
not about that.
Jesus spent more time with the lepers and the prostitutes and the people that everybody saw as shady in the society than the scholars and the educated people and the holy.
It's all about
people,
labels. Right? At the end of the day,
it's all about labels.
Just labels.
So I'm not here to filter or discriminate. Well, you know what? You're creepy. I'm not going to deal with you. I'm going to deal with everybody. I can handle it. But if you can't handle it, that's a different thing. I mean, you may or may not ever be able to. But it's when you start doing tit for tat.
Oh, no, yeah, that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. And again, go back to your situation that you just described. This is my take on it. Is it better to be liked? I mean, if you're on a mission, Carina, and I know you are, right, to prove to people that there are no chains holding us down, that you could break through any kind of fear and you can find your freedom, whatever that is, right?
Yes,
it's a message of hope. It's a message of inspiration. Your shows say it all. Your book says it all. And everybody that you help and counsel, I'm sure that's your message. That's your mission. That's your calling.
Yes.
Are you going to get so distracted by somebody that says, hey, I've been watching you and, I'd like to get to know you. It just comes with the territory. Right?
You're
and you
right.
just say, thank you very much for the compliment. I hope you enjoy my posts. Bam. That's it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I don't want to sit there and explain the meaning of life or what's in my head or explain to them what a mission is and why I'm doing this and how important it is.
That doesn't matter.
I'm nothing. I'm this. The world is much bigger than me. The world is much bigger than any of us.
Yeah.
So it's just a mental state, like, I don't know, the million shows we've done together, but it's just a different way of looking at things. I choose to look at life through the eyes of a 7-year-old. Put me in that kindergarten and those third graders all day long, and I would have a blast because it's truly innocent.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. No
interaction.
filters. No filters.
Yeah. No filters, no nothing. Now,
no boundaries.
Don't take my 7-year-old wide-eyed, innocent curiosity for stupidity. I'm a very sharp businessman.
No.
I deal with profit, not loss. And I ask uncomfortable questions and I read clauses in contracts. I've done that all my life. So I'm not dumb. I'm a very smart businessman. But take the businessman aside, because nobody cares about the businessman. They care about the person. I am a very easygoing person, and it's intended to just, explore and experience all facets of life with like-minded people. Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
How people see that? Oh, they're a pushover because they're just always so nice. Probably think again, but that's okay. I'm flattered you think that, So did that interaction bother you, Carina?
It bothered me because I felt bad about it. But at the end of the day, when I broke it, it was better because, I didn't want that in my life, and it was making me uncomfortable. So when I cut it, and it was a good thing.
Did you block?
No.
Okay, see?
No.
Mission accomplished.
No.
So they're either going to stick around for the show and the mission and the message, or they're not. It's okay. Think of all the other people that you've touched. I've seen some of the posts. I've seen some of the comments that people have with you. It's hard to convince me that you aren't touching and affecting lives in a positive way. Mm-hmm. Which is reinforcement that you're doing great work, right?
Right.
And again, guys, this conversation isn't like, oh, look at me and Carina, we're grandiose and we have higher visions and, a higher calling in life. Everybody does. It's just when you get it, you get it. How much you want to participate in that mission is entirely up to you. Doesn't make you a good person or a bad person. It's just for me personally. And I can't even speak for you. It's something that I want to share. It's something that makes me feel good. It's something that keeps me sober. Let's go back to that. Yes. I've been clean and sober for 2 years. I have no plans on relapsing. None. Yeah. And one of the reasons I could say that with conviction, and one of the reasons I can have a fully stocked bar in my house.
I love that. That is amazing.
The only reason I'm able to do that is the vibes and the juice, the energy that I get out of the thousands of people that I'm helping right now. Because I get more out of it than they do, believe it or not.
Yes.
That's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this like, look at me, and I'm going to be famous, and I'm going to show people. No, this is basically, I need this. Mm-hmm. I need this to keep myself the way I am, grounded, helpful, inspiring, a leader. I put my money where my mouth is. I walk the walk. I talk the talk. And the reason I'm able to stand 15 feet away from a fully stocked bar and not even think about having a drink is for those reasons. Mm-hmm. And if I could do it, anybody can do it. That's the best part.
And it's about the mission and the purpose. Because I think once you've got that mission, you don't think about it because it's not important anymore, because you've got your focus on something else, which is exciting.
Look at the downside.
I know.
That one drink would set you back to the Stone Age. That one drink would just make me tired. And then I'd be lazy. And then I'd procrastinate. Yes. And then I'd want more. And then I'd be lazy again. And then I'd want, just one more. And then just one more. And it's just like, is that what life is all about? Mm. I never tire. I mean, I'm physically tired, but I never tire. If somebody pulled me aside right before I was going to sleep and said, Dino, I have a question for you, or I need your advice, or I need your help. As much as, I'm not going to lie, as much as I would dread picking up the phone, once I'm on the phone, it would be like I just woke up in the morning. It would be that energy because I'm reconnecting. These people keep me charged.
Yes.
So it's all good. It's all good.
Yes.
And I hope that, in this segment, because we always veer, somehow it's always about us.
Right. That's
I hope in this segment, you could just think back to your childhood. And it's amazing because, just a few days ago, I was back with people I went to kindergarten with, right? That I haven't seen
been fun.
in over 50 years, okay? And we're talking about stories and everybody, obviously we all aged, but we're all acting the same and we're all silly. And it's like we never, it's like we're right back there. And that just brought up so many things that, this is a fresh topic and this just happened. So it's kind of cool. I will tell anybody, when in doubt, think like a 7-year-old, think like a 6-year-old. And everything makes sense then, believe it or not.
Yes.
Everything does.
Yes.
Life's not that serious.
No, we make it that serious. And the problem again is the stories in your head. So you make these stories that become crazy and then it's like, what? So come back and become that child, yes. And say, hey. So
So one stupid analogy I just thought of right now is that, in every household, right, you collect the garbage, you put them in the trash, there's some in the bathrooms, there's some in the kitchen, there's some in, everywhere in the house. And once a week, generally, you take all your bins and you dump them in the main garbage, that's either outside your house or in the garage or whatever. And, here, Friday is garbage day, right? Everybody takes their garbage and they put it out to the curb and then the garbage truck comes and collects it.
Right.
Think about that in life. Do you throw out your garbage or not?
I actually love that. That's very good. That's a very good.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Use that on a post, Carina. Go for it. Go on, take that one. But no, you would obviously throw out your garbage. What happens when you keep garbage for a while? It starts stinking. It starts rotting. It starts smelling. Why are we collecting our garbage and keeping it in our heads? Don't you think we stink? Don't you think we smell? Don't you think it slows us down? I need to dump my garbage.
Yes.
And just pretend, just for a day, that every Friday is garbage day. So everybody listening, on Friday, dump your garbage as well as the physical ones in the house. You'll feel much better. Trust me.
Yes, it's a very good idea. So
that's
I love
the
that.
title. That's the title. When is garbage day for you? Bam! All right,
Great
what a
title.
show.
Great title.
What a show. All right.
Okay, well, thank you for that, Dino.
Bam! All right. I have to do my thing, and it's fun. In an upcoming segment, I got to tell you, just a single touch can change the world, and just like some random, incredibly, it's just so many sequences of coincidence you can't even understand. I mean, you won't even believe this, but I'll tell you, like just yesterday, what happened, and you'll just freak out. But that's for another show.
Oh no, you can't do that. Okay.
Yes, I can.
That's rude.
To be continued. Watch this show on garbage day. Everybody out there, dump your garbage. Friday is garbage day. Dump it.
Monday here, right? But it doesn't matter. Whatever day it is.
Monday. Take 2. Monday is garbage day. Dump it. All right, Carina, thank you.
Thank you, Dino.
Break
Thanks,
fear,
everyone.
find freedom. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.